Nathan Zegura here at Paycor Stadium, where the Browns lose 24-6 to the Cincinnati Bengals, dropping now to 3-12 on the 2024 season. And this was a game like so many others for the Cleveland Browns, where self-inflicted wounds caused this team to lose once again. And it started early, just as it did last week. After Jerome Ford went 66 yards on the first play from scrimmage, the Browns were about to go into this very end zone where I stand now. D'Onta Foreman, who had not been active in many weeks, had the goal line carry, and he fumbled going into the end zone. The Bengals would take it over on their first play from their own one, offsides on the Browns. They gave them a little breathing room. They'd go right down the field, a 99-yard drive. They would score. They'd lead 7-0. They would not look back. In fact, at halftime, it was 17-0 Bengals. DTR did lead the Browns on a scoring drive in the second half. Jerome Ford kept that one off with a rushing touchdown. He was over 100 total yards with the score, one of the bright spots. The Browns defense would play much better in the second half. They didn't allow a touchdown until the very end of the second half there, and I mean literally the very end. Surprisingly, the Bengals threw it, but they did. Burrow got a free play, hit Jamar Chase for a touchdown. That's how we got to 24-6. But on the Browns scoring drive, Jerome Ford over 100 total yards, finished with that touchdown. Dustin Hopkins missed the extra point. Those self-inflicted wounds continuing to mount for this Cleveland Browns team. And then another, down 17-6. All they needed was a field goal to make it a one-possession game. A touchdown would have made this one very interesting. Perhaps he would have gotten it to 17-14. I'm sure they would have gone for two. DTR ran in a touchdown. It was called back on a holding penalty on Jordan Akins. Then another holding penalty would back them up. The Bengals would bring a blitz. DTR tried to make a play. Should have just thrown it away. It was intercepted. He'd go on to throw 2 interceptions today. The Browns turning it over 3 times against the Bengals. Some bright spots, though. I mentioned Jerome Ford. It was good to see David Njoku, 8 catches in his first game back. They did not get Jerry Jeudy involved enough. Only 3 targets on the day, only 2 catches. Got to find a way to get him the football more often, as we saw in those games with Jameis Winston at quarterback. Defensively, some good things. As I said, you really kind of shut the Bengals out here in the second half. You limited them at times. You would sack Joe Burrow 4 times. One of them, Myles Garrett's 100th career sack. He is the first player in NFL history to do so before his 29th birthday. You also saw some young guys playing well. Mike Hall got his first NFL sack. That's going to be the first of many for him. He was a disruptive force. Juwan Briggs played well, and Isaiah McGuire continues to play well at defensive end. He had a sack and a forced fumble of Burrow that was recovered by Briggs. So some bright spots on defense, but again, not enough offense, certainly for the Cleveland Browns. DTR looked much better at times, but was running for his life and too often trying to make too many plays. That led to the 2 interceptions. Got to take care of the football first and foremost if you want to start winning games for the Cleveland Browns. 2 more games to go. The Dolphins at home Sunday at 4, and then on the road finishing the season up in Baltimore. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays to everybody watching. We'll have a full breakdown for you of this Browns game on Monday at Cleveland Browns Daily at 1 o'clock.